What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about that I believe Spider-Man, as in Peter Parker, will appear in the Miles Morales game. Now, I got to be careful about, I guess, how I worded that or how I even worded the title. I assume some people may even look at the title and just immediately comment that, well, duh, like his voice will be in it or whatever. I'm specifically talking about, I believe we will see Spider-Man in this game. It's an interesting thing, and I do see both sides, as in, like, to have him in this game and to not have him in this game. And we're going to go over both those things as we go through this. Really quickly, though, this is the start of the Miles Morales coverage. I'm going to be doing lots of videos on Miles. If you guys like me talking about that, you want to see more of it, make sure you are leaving this video a like. Make sure you guys are subscribing if you guys have not yet already. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter. PodcastNow15 is my Twitter handle. I get it. This is something that you could say maybe they want to hold off until Spider-Man 2. I agree with some of that. I agree with some aspects because I think that, you could have him be in Miles Morales, this game, and not have him be that much of like a contributing factor to it, and then you could still have them be in 2, and that's maybe the first time that, who knows, I really do think they'll have some sort of like dual system, like maybe like an Arkham Knight had, where you can kind of do both, maybe even like a Gotham Knights. It'll be interesting to see for Spider-Man 2 if they go fully on where you could play as them evenly, or you get to choose, or if it's still technically Spider-Man's game. I think it'll still be mainly Spider-Man's game, and that's honestly why I think something like this could fit in this one. Look, there's a couple of reasons why I think this is going to happen. One, for like the game and gameplay and to sell it, and another because of the remaster that we just got. So let's talk about that one first, because that's probably still hot on everybody's mind, right? Look, the face change, right? We talked about it a few days ago. It's something, right? To go watch that video if you missed out. I thought it was I personally really enjoyed doing it. To me, there's a couple of reasons why you do that, and this is not, by the way, summarizing it because I'm using it directly to back this theory up. There's a couple of reasons why you do it. One, I think, is maybe pressure to make him look more like Tom Holland. I truly will kind of stand on that. I don't think it's the main reason, but I do think it could be one of the reasons. Another one is, look, why do you do something like that, and why do you show that in Spider-Man Remastered? Well, yes, obviously, you're going to have people that are going to buy Spider-Man Remastered and say, and you need to show them this, probably early, so that when they play the game, they're not like, who in the holy God is that, right? Like, this isn't even Peter Parker. You have to show that. Okay, I get that. A thing you could also argue, if you're maybe like anti this whole thing, you could say, well, maybe they're doing it to give people a reason. Maybe they don't feel like there's enough reasons, which I do think there actually are. I don't necessarily subscribe to that, but if you do think that, hey, maybe they're just doing it because maybe they don't see this remaster being worth much, even me, I'm a big Spider-Man guy. I love the game. I don't think it was the best man-made, thing ever created, but I do think it was really good. And even with that being said, I'm not getting this remaster. I really don't see any. I get it, all of the new updated like features in terms of all of the spec stuff that they're doing with it. I mean, that is really cool. At the same time, I'm just gonna be playing other games. It's not a game I necessarily need to go back and replay, and you're really, again, $20 is not a lot of money, so I'm not going to say, $20 is like my main thing, but I don't feel like spending an extra $20 on this game. I'm just going to get Miles Morales, okay? So that comes from me, and honestly, online, I've seen it. Now, maybe it's just in my community. Maybe there's a lot of people out, and I know there's a lot of people outside of it. I don't know how this game is going to do. I feel like it is going to sell extremely, extremely well. I just don't know if it'll sell as well as they may think it will. And maybe, again, you can maybe argue, well, maybe they're doing something like that. Here's my reasoning, too. So the whole, his face, his animations better match the voice actor. I mean, again, I think that is a reason. I don't think that's the main reason from that. I feel like they're trying to hold something back from us. Whatever. But I will tell you that I also feel like it's partially to get us ready to see him in this game, in Miles Morales. Again, obviously there's going to be people that buy Spider-Man Remastered, but I wonder which one wins. I feel like Miles Morales would sell more. Like if you had to do it, and really if you think about it, you can only get Spider-Man Remastered by technically getting, by getting Miles Morales. There's no way that you can go about this to just get Spider-Man Remastered. You can't spend $20 just to get Spider-Man Remastered. You have to get get, whether it's the collection of the two for $70 or just Miles for $50. Okay, those are your only two options. So the majority of people, actually, no matter what, Miles is going to be sold every single time. Spider-Man Remastered would not be. And also, again, even the one that you're buying the package deal, you're probably going to play Miles Morales first. So, again, maybe a bit like conspiracy-wise, but I do think they were kind of getting people ready to see his face because he's going to pop up face-wise in Miles Morales. I really do think so. I think so because you got to get people ready for that. It's already going to be tough enough for people to get through the scenes that were sold so well in the original game with a different face. Now we're going, but at the same time, this is maybe a step in the right direction because now we get to see him in a brand new game, maybe start to put their legacy, or he gets to start to put his legacy on this character. So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is a selling point, and I say that, and I said it like that because I know that may come off maybe the wrong way. Trust me, the game doesn't need to be sold from like a big thing like this. And I'm not saying this is like a big tech demo. Or I'm not saying this is literally just going to be like they're just going to kind of pack it with big things that like you need to get this game only for this and not for any other reason. I feel like the reasoning to get Miles Morales is very clear. I think it's going to be an extremely well-rounded game. Okay, so I'm not taking anything away from Miles. But if you notice from the reveal gameplay that they showed us, okay, now yes, a lot of times when you show a game, the first thing of gameplay, it better be darn good. You're probably going to show a set piece. Maybe you even made that set piece with selling the game kind of in mind, okay? That's just marketing. That's just what game developers do. Again, I'm not necessarily picking on them, but you have to imagine there's going to be some big like story beats and big moments in this smaller game. It's a small game. It's a smaller game. But you got to imagine they're going to have some pretty darn big moments. There could be the villain kind of reveal, right, with like the Tinkerer, like who is she really, which, by the way, I just had a kind of a spoiler there, right, if people want to subscribe to that. You have that bridge. You have the kind of comparisons to like the Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland where they all do the whole, where they're holding like something really big together or whatever. They do these things on purpose. But that bridge scene, I mean, that was a really big scene. I would imagine that one of the biggest surprises when we're all said and done with this game is that, yes, Spider-Man actually does appear. Now, the question is, would it be Spider-Man or would it be Peter Parker? I think you'll see him without the mask. Maybe he'll have the mask on. Maybe they'll do some fighting scene together, and then maybe they'll be, like, talking on top of a building, and he'll, like, pull the mask off where you'll see the face. I could 1,000% see that. Now, again, in a best of both worlds case, because I did see people say, again, keep him away from it. Don't make that big scene in this one. Make it in Spider-Man 2. I understand that. I get that. At the same time, I think Spider-Man 2 will have its own really, really big things. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily know if it needs that one. It's probably going to have 10 other massively big moments. And again, you don't have to include the ability to play as both. In fact, again, I would imagine what I would see, so my prediction for this game, I could see maybe like an end boss battle between you and whoever they want to do, you and whoever, and then maybe Spider-Man comes in to help you, whether it's in like a cutscene, whether you see him in gameplay, like he's fighting on screen while you're fighting, but I don't think you'll control him. Okay, so I'm not saying you play as him. In fact, I'll say the opposite. You will not play as Spider-Man. I do not think so, but I do think he'll be in the game, whether it be in a cutscene or whether it be actual in-game play. Again, I don't think it's just going to be his voice. I think you'll see his physical body, and again, I'll go even so far to say that I think he'll take his mask off at some point. I really do think they're going to drive home the fact that this is a brand new guy, and you're going to look at him in the window of his soul, which is his eyes. You're going to look him in the window of his soul, and you're going to respect it, and you're going to like it, and you better like it because we're putting him in Spider-Man 2. I feel like that's definitely something that's going to... again, yes, there's 1,000 reasons why you showed us the video for, where they did the face swap, but I think another reasoning is let's get people ready. Let's show them an iconic scene from the Remastered, but in all reality, they're probably going to play Miles Morales first, and if we have a brand new Peter Parker there, that's going to be a little odd. We're going to have to show them it now, 2 months before, so then when they go into the new game, they're not like completely taken aback when it's a new face, which, by the way, I think people still will be, because not everybody lives on the internet that bought this game. So that's my theory. By the way, I know I'm saying this at the end, by the way, it's completely okay for me to be wrong. It's completely okay for us to have a difference of opinion as long as we are are respectful. These are just my thoughts. I mean no harm by it. I'm not attacking anybody. That's just, I kind of want to make that very, very clear, okay? So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think Spider-Man will appear physically in this game? Do you think we'll see the notorious Peter Parker new face? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Follow me on Twitter, Podcast Now 15. And like I said, we're going to be making a lot more Miles Morales videos on this channel over the next month and a half. Very, very excited. I hope to see you guys all there.